We're now to Decision 2010. The primary election in Michigan is just 2 weeks away, and earlier in the hour we introduced you to the candidates in the 75th State House. We continue our coverage now with a look at those running in the 89th State House District. 24-Hour News 8's political reporter Rick Albin again with more.
We continue our look at important races and the candidates in those races in Decision 2010. We've been telling you about House races and also telling you that some of these attracted some really big fields, and that certainly is the case out in the 89th and Ottawa County. That's this area outlined here. Currently represented by Arlen Meekoff, who is running for the Senate. He could have run for another term here, but instead running for the Senate. And for the Democrats, just one person, Don Bergman. He will be on the ballot in November. But for the Republicans, a field of 8, Easterling, Garcia, Hall, McNeil, Meyer, Miller, Nash, and Price. Now, I will tell you that we could not get scheduled William Easterling. We talked with him about an interview, but the timing did not work out, and we were unsuccessful after any number of attempts to get in touch with Brandon Hall. But for the other 6 candidates in this race, they all came in, sat down, and talked to me, consequently talking to you, about why they're in it.
We have some of the best educational institutions in the world, and we're giving these kids their degrees, and they're, as soon as they get their degrees, they're picking up and they're leaving. And for me, this is personal. My daughter graduated Calvin in May. School teacher comes to me and says, "Dad, I got to leave the state. I can't find a job here." And at that point, then I just basically got mad and really jumped into it.
We are running as moderates, proudly running as a moderate. We want to, I'm running to offer an alternative to the people in our district to come to the middle and actually get things done for the hardworking people of Michigan versus, people that come in there and just vote on party lines and, the partisan bickering and the party politics.
I would work very hard not to bring any additional taxes to the state. I would further reduce and further cut the budget in Michigan, and putting that pressure on each department to find different ways to become more efficient. Every company, every business in our state has had to do that the past couple of years.
Let's get people to sharpen up their pencils. We have to do that in industry all the time. We have to, figure out ways to be more efficient. How can we make a product, better functioning and get it for less money? So I think there's some savings there. I think there's some overlap in departments that we can probably cut back on.
I see programs that I don't think are working with the business community. I really follow the Center for Michigan. I think they have some great ideas. And it just seems to me like we need some people like myself that is running, totally paying for my campaign, taking no donations, going there with no aspirations but to make things better.
Because I have some familiarity with the budget already, and it's going to be a legislative session of really hard choices. And you have to be able to understand what those choices are and where you need to take the state, both the short-term and long-term.
This is one of the larger fields of candidates when we talk about House races. There are 8, 6 of those were able to come and talk to us about that race. But tomorrow, we'll take a look at an even bigger field for a state House race. And we have all of those candidates to tell you why they believe you should vote for them, as we continue to look at the candidates in the campaign for Decision 2010.